Hello everybody and welcome back to another X4 video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the game editor special option here, the custom game editor, budgeted and creative, what the differences are and what you can do with them, and also some of the questions that some people have been asking me along the way. So without further ado, let's get straight into it and let's not worry about anything else at the moment. So the first thing is what's the difference between the two? Well, we need to know what they are first. So the custom game editor basically allows you to start and make adjustments based off what you want to do. So this game editor is based mainly for people who have already played the game and who may have completed some parts in the past and want to start again, but want to have some adjustments to it and hopefully, avoid some things that they've already done. So that's what it is. What's the difference between the two here? Budgeted goes off what you've already done. So the more you do in the game, the more you unlock, the more points you get to be able to class as your budget. The budget is a monetary value, and everything that you change has that kind of value, and it will go up and down. We'll have a look at that in more detail later. Creative is none of the budgets, so you can pretty much have your own universe, set your own way at the beginning, and then you can go ahead and move on forward. The only things you can't change are more of the AI stuff, so like the AI having different stations. The layouts are all kind of already set. The only differences they have is where the factories are and what factories they actually have. So we're going to have a look at budgeted first. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, if I can just get everything unlocked, why don't I do creative? Well, now that the online mode is coming to X4, a lot of these games that people play have thousands of hours in them. I have a save mode that is over 1,000 hours. I've actually wiped that save mode now because of the amount of changes that we've had on the game, to then begin another long save. And you can catch that save on Sundays where we've been playing it, but you'll notice that there is now online features. Yes, it is in beta, but it won't be long until it joins us. So if you play a custom game without budgeted creative mode, you're not going to be able to use ventures. So it's going to lock you completely from that. Now, if you spent hundreds and thousands of hours on a save mode, the last thing you want to do is restart to do it all over again. So just bear that in mind. So this is your custom game editor. It is the same for both budgeted and creative. The only difference is you can see the budgets here at the bottom. So you can see you got a monetary value, personnel value, which is classed as monetary as well, because each personnel is worth a value. You've got knowledge, so you can have how much knowledge you actually have. Again, you have a limit. This, as you can see, it says exploring new systems, finding interesting items and locations, and unlocking timeline entries all rewards you with an increased knowledge budget. Now, I will hold my hands up. The worst thing that I do in this game is don't go around looking for everything. I will literally just play the game just to start a war on a faction, do a little bit of a story in my head, and kind of roleplay it that way. And I'll build these intricate economical systems. And I'm trying to do it where basically my supply lines and stuff like that are well defended, and that I can make my own war efforts and do stuff like that. So I don't tend to go for knowledge. So some of the game starts I actually never did. I had to look into them, and I know enough about them to play them. But other than that, I didn't really stick to them. So if you want a higher knowledge, then that's how you do it. Relations, again, your relationship budget can be increased by joining a faction's trade guild or assisting them with a war. Promotion ceremonies also contribute to this budget. So as you start playing the game, you start getting them promotion ceremonies, they will increase your relation budget. Story states are where you are in the story, so I will show that in a second. And research is exactly the same as well. And the personnel starts with your starting ship and your property as well. Okay, so your player. So you get the standard player, which is Val Selton, so you can change that to whoever you want. Rugged Gamer. Oh, there we go. You can choose whatever faction you want based off what you have unlocked. So you can see I've got the Terran because I have the Terran DLC. I've got the Split DLC, the Taladi and the Paranids because they're the beginners. The Argon and the Boran. Obviously, the only DLC that didn't bring in new races was obviously the Split Vendetta. The Tides of Avarice, because they were Argons and Terrans and all that kind of mix up. So, since Boran is new, we'll choose the Boran. You can see that the character and the name have both gone to yellow because they've been changed. Your starting balance is 10,000 credits. If you lower that down to 0 credits, you'll notice here in the bottom corner, you'll see my budget is starting to change. So if I'd rather take a hit at the beginning, You can do that. Again, you can do the same with the repair laser and the suit scanner. Downside is you're going to be restricted to what you can do. So I tend to just stick them to standard, but you only want one of them, and they're a pain in the ass. Why don't we just press the one arrow? There we go. So you see they've gone back to white because we haven't changed them. We have changed the starting balance. You can add remove wares. If you want wares in your backpack already, including the Cetor drive, you'll notice the Cetor drive is 1.9 million. We'll go ahead and we'll want the Cetor drive. That adds on to it. That's now increased my amount in my budget. Same for blueprints. You can choose any blueprints in the game and you can start with them. Now, when it comes to blueprints, what I tend to do is if I'm going to start with stations, I will not choose blueprints. I will leave the blueprints as they are. I will then go to my property and I will build my stations because the stations will give us the blueprints, and I'll show you that shortly. Preferred build method is as you would expect it to be. It's based off your race, universal, closed loop, or Terran. I don't think that actually... No, it doesn't. It still shows as yellow, but it doesn't change anything in your budget. Same for your default ship skin. You can choose whatever colour you want. They don't mind. Starting ship. You get a Discover Vanguard, which is included in your current budget. So you'll notice 260k is on your ship. The Discover Vanguard is a decent ship. It's got Mark IIs. It's kind of middle of the line for some stuff, and a bottom end for others. But you got pulse lasers on there, which are pretty good. You've got software on there as well. You got some consumables that you might need, like dumbfire missiles for your rocket launcher that you've got there. What I'd suggest doing is finding yourself a ship that you want. So you might want a Balor with a high preset. It's kind of a cool ship. Yeah, I'll go for that. Look at that. 8.6 million just for that one ship. But you know what? We're going to splash ourselves out. Let's do it. Now that's massively increased our starting balance. You see we're on 10.6k out of 133 million. You might be thinking, Lord's that. When we start getting to properties, add a station. You know what? I want to have my own energy cell production. Okay, well, where's it going to be located? So you press the little plus key there, and it now drops down. This is where you can change the name of it. So, energy cell. Oh, I wasn't typing. Energy cell production. I don't want to start in Argon Prime. I'm actually going to have my HQ. So I know my HQ is in Grand Exchange 3, if I remember correctly. We'll have a look in a second. Now, we're on 1.6 million. We have no manager. I want a Boron. I want him to have half-decent management. So we'll go for middle of the line. You'll notice now that his value is increasing. You notice it's going on our personnel. So we've got our starting ship, which is included on there, and our property as well. If we want subordinates, so do we want, you know, some trading ships? Well, yeah, let's go and grab a medium trading ship. Where are we? Transport. We'll go for a Dolphin. We'll go for a medium preset. You can see the personnel has increased, and so has the money. We can adjust that. We can just drop the people down, so we can go, oh, I just want 3 people just for now. And you can see that's dropped it down dramatically. But you've got your support there. You can again increase this, so if we go to Grand Exchange 3, remember by default it will put it in Argon Prime. Everything goes to Argon Prime by default. But you see there, now we've got 10 subordinates at 7.2 million capacity. We're starting to burn through our cash now. We're also starting to burn through our personnel. Knowledge is not too bad because it's our known sectors that's increased only because we've got it in Grand Exchange 3. And everything else is just as is. Universe. This is where the money and knowledge starts coming in. You can see we've already got the yellow one, which is the Grand Exchange. You can choose your starting sector. We want to start in Grand Exchange 3. Again, that goes yellow, but it doesn't actually cost you anything more to start wherever you want to start. What I will say is you'll have your map here, and it's actually Grand Exchange 1 we want. I'm glad I checked it. My memory is not as good as it used to be. So let's change these over to Grand Exchange 1. But you'll also notice is if you click on here, so you're within the energy cell, if you click anywhere on the map, you'll notice the station moves wherever you want to put it. If you click on the dolphin here, just anywhere so you're inside the box, you'll notice that they also will move with you. That's a stack of 10. Leave that as is. So now we've changed that. We can get to Grand Exchange 3 and we can go, I want to remove that. There we go. You'll notice that there is non-removable, because if you notice, says this sector is required for at least one selected property object. It's because your stations are in there. Now, a lot of you ask me, how do you make them satellites look so good on there? They're all laid out really nice. Two options here. You can reveal all of the stations. So this is going to be my main sector. So I'm going to say, yeah, I want all my stations revealed. That's going to cost me knowledge. I want satellite coverage. Look how beautiful that is. Perfectly laid out. So that is how you do that. A lot of people have asked me. So, there you go. Nice and shiny. They look smart. You can do that for any sector that you put into here. You'll also notice the satellite coverage costs you money because it costs you the satellites. But it doesn't cost you knowledge because you're technically deploying something physical. You could get away with trying to do that and go all station known 0. Yes, your satellites will pick them up, but it won't know anything about them. So you can do that. You'll know everything about them. So we'll leave that for now. I only want to know Grand Exchange. Argon Prime is kind of a default. You can remove it if you want, if you're not starting there as default. We go, actually, no, I don't want it. I want to save my knowledge. Cool. Done. We know one sector. It's kind of like how we normally start. So that's our universe. Now we have our faction relations. Now this one here, you can actually adjust as and will you what. So if we go, actually we want to know the Terrans. You'll notice it's just cost me 10 out of 1285. If I then go to 20, you'll notice it's 110 out of 1285. For 30, we are well over budget. But then if we go minus 20 here, doesn't offset it. It only goes of how much you go above 0. If we go to 0, you'll notice our faction relation is now on 0. Maybe the Yak we want on 0. Zayaf Patriarchy on 0. We're now not at war with any of them factions. Everything there we can adjust. The ones we can't adjust are the enemy. For example, the Ka'ak and the Xenon. They are unfortunately set. But this gives us a chance now to be at 0 reputation. But say you want to really go for a faction really early, you can increase the reputation, and it will cost you, as you've just seen. Just avoid trying to go over to the maximum. It's not worth it. You can't really do it anyway. But Alliance of the Word, say I want to go, oh, well, I can't do that. Well, what's wrong with that? You're still better than what you were before. May take a little bit longer, but you're going to be a lot better than you were before. You'll also notice all the numbers are all yellow. These are the ones that we've changed, so if you want to change them back, you can go ahead and do that. So that's relations. So yeah, we're friendly with everybody. Now I did do a faction stream where I had it where they were all enemy. That was tough, but it was fun. Consider doing that sometime. Story state. Now, for those of you who followed me, know that I have done the latest one, which is the Wayfinder Expedition Successful. Now it says you have established a gate connection to Kingdom's End, but the work of reintegration still lies ahead. Choose at least one of the following options: HQ with Bor Sata or HQ with Bor Sata and Dalbusta. So, if we go to HQ and staff here, you'll see it says HQ with Bor Sata. I haven't unlocked Dalbusta. As I say, most of the stuff I used to do was just economy stuff. I am looking to unlock all these later down the line, and we can see the effects on the budgets later down the line as well. But all we need is Bor Sata, and now we can do Wayfinder. I also don't want that stupid ship scanning my station. So I can go Project Genesis complete, because I completed that in the Terran one with everybody watching on stream. I did do Arcadian Endeavour, but I never actually finished the final mission, so that's why it's not unlocked. Save for the North River Company, I did do that, and I didn't unlock the Earl King either. I knew all about them because I did them all in the beta, but unfortunately they didn't follow through. Well, that's not an issue. You notice again, these are all changed in colour. You notice that the story stakes are added, but they do not have any effect or bearing on my budgets, because you've already completed these, and the game says, well, you've already done them. go ahead and you take them for free. Same for research. What if I want teleportation? You go ahead and do it. I've done high mass teleportation before now. You'll notice I can take high mass teleportation. What about the mods? Yep, I can take all the mods. Because I've already actually done all of these. So I could take all of them if I wanted to. I've done the welfare for the casino. We've done the defense module hack. So now we've unlocked all of the research. Again, I actually did this in the beta and it counts it towards it, but I don't use it because I like to do the story at some stage. So there you go. So that's the budget at a glance. Now you notice that I have played the game quite a bit, so I've got quite a bit of a budget, but this obviously came in later down the line and it started to clock up as and when you do stuff. And me being me playing eco, running around and selling stuff, didn't really catch up on these. So there's a lot of work for me to do. But you'll notice that I've actually got quite a comfortable setup there. A really good start. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I really like that start. So I can now call this Game Start 1. Save as new. Export custom game is basically saving your custom game. Then you can have your import custom. You see there. These are all your budgeted ones. So any one of these three here will be your budget, and they have nothing to do with creative. And this also points here how they all link to all of your stuff here. Now, this I will point out, you can have them known to the player. That means you can contact them, you can find where their stuff is. It's a lot bit easier, but it does cost towards your knowledge. Just one final pointer there. You can then reset your settings and reset everything back to normal. Again, you can reset specifics, so you can go, well, I want to reset all my research, I want to reset all my story states. Just bear in mind, if you reset something like story states, that might have an impact on something to do with what you know or where you are. But, you know, with the universe and stuff, there you go. You got all of the pretty satellites there. And obviously your property. You've also now got your HQ, which you can now adjust. So there. Hopefully that's helped you kind of figure out what the hell custom game editor is. The only difference between that and creative is, as I said, there are no budgets. You can do anything you want. You can also improve your relation with the Xenon and the Cat Arc. You can have them friendly. Duke's Buccaneers. I want them friendly. You can be friendly with every single person and just have a little bit of a casual play out of a game. Just talking about, you know, your eco, moving parts around, and just have it where they're all at war with each other and you play like a gun for hire or arms dealer or whatever you want to call it. What you notice now is this says Start Modified Game. Modified games are games that you cannot do online. But everything else you can do whatever you want with. It's all the same. Exact same setup as before, but you can do some crazy setups with the creative version. So, hopefully, that's helped you out with custom game starts. I don't want to go too much more into it. If there's any questions whatsoever about that kind of thing, please let me know in the comment section below, or you can join our Discord where we can talk more in depth with custom game starts or anything else to do with X4. But hopefully that will allow you to enjoy your games, not mess yourself up when it comes to online capability, and you don't have to do things over and over again, make it tedious. If you've already done it before and you really want to skip the beginning bit, maybe you've done something wrong in your save, consider the custom game editor. It's a great way to do things. So this is good for newer players as well as experienced players. If these aren't on your screen for any reason, it's because you've not progressed far enough in the game. I'm going to be honest with you, I know some of the things that are on mine, for example the foundation ones, are not on everybody's save. The reason for that being is because they unlock later down the line, and if I'm honest with you, I can't remember if the special ones unlock earlier or whether they're just already unlocked. Obviously, I've had them since I've already played the game, so they just pop up on my screen. So, if you don't have them, that's the reason why. But, until next time, everybody, take care for now. I shall see you all on the next one. Bye-bye for now.